Hello, everyone. Brett the Comic Novice here. And today I was greeted with, I feel as though, some great and exciting news about some brand new DC Comics and also some brand new relaunches to DC Comics because we are still in the dawn of the DCU. And I feel as though that there is some healthy skepticism that can be had by this, but I believe that there is some optimism. And so I'm going to just talk and share my thoughts about the optimism regarding DC Comics and what is currently going on with their dawn of the DCU and some of the most latest news. But before I do that, I think I need to take a moment and look at some of the earlier news that came out because I feel as though that if we look at it singly, the excitement can be dialed down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to the Green Arrow storyline that was announced earlier on. And, this is one of the newer relaunches or a brand new series that is coming out from Dawn of the DCU. This was teased by Joshua Williamson early on during the Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. And because I heard him say it in a couple of interviews. Now, regarding this, I'm both positive and negative about this. I've said this a couple times before. It is a 6-issue mini with the option to possibly be extended. And I have not read the Ivy series. I've heard some people feel as though it was really good up into the mini part of the mini series. Then it got extended to a maxi series and it's been rough for a little bit. And now it is also continuing on as a, full-fledged ongoing story. And I feel as though somebody's told me that it now is, getting back to where, it was in the mini series. So I do think that there's some really good things regarding that. One of the things that I find, and as we're looking at the dawn of the DCU, there's so many things that has come out. We've had the whole scape that is, the release schedule. And I was always intrigued because as part of the release schedule, not only was Superman 1 coming out, we knew that there was going to be a Green Lantern book. At one point in time, we thought there was going to be two. One of them was written by Mariko Tamaki, and it was going to be the end of the world. However, that did not happen. It is now written by Jeremy Adams. Now, the end of the world did happen because The Flash has an ongoing series with Jeremy Adams. Currently, he's doing a 1-minute war. Lots of people fully, enjoy that. I have every single issue so far. I'm going to read it all and then possibly do a video on that once the conclusion of the 1-minute war is done. But I feel as though now he is now on the Green Lantern writing. And that is a good thing. And also you could say a bad thing because maybe he should, be able to do both of those because of the success that we're seeing. However, let's just let it go. I think that there could be some, healthy skepticism. There could be some, optimism too, please. Spurrier was announced as the brand new Flash. Actually, I jump ahead because, again, one of the things regarding the Green Lantern, or not the Green Lantern, but this dawn of the DCU is we have the Green Lantern, but then we have this 6-issue mini that was, the Connor Kent story that won the round robin, which to me doesn't make any sense that this is part of the dawn of the DCU because this was only, this is voted on by the fans. So what is going on with this? We have the, adventures of Superboy or, John Kent Superman, which I've already done one video on. I contacted my shop. I'm going to pull issue number 2. I kind of don't want to, but you know what? Let's maybe, more things will happen. It'll be more detailed and less set up for an issue 2. Again, me trying to be a little bit optimistic about the whole thing. Earlier on, a couple weeks ago, we got an announcement of 3 new books that were spun off of the what was it spun off of? Lazarus Planet. Now, I stepped out of the entirety of Lazarus Planet. The only 2 I'm going to read is the Alpha and the Omega, because that was run by Mark Waid, who basically kind of is going forward probably the DC mastermind and strategist, possibly. And, that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I've heard both sides. I think, again, healthy skepticism. I'm leaning towards optimism. But you have, out of those ones, you have a couple of things from the one shots. You have the Spirit World, which, is a 6-issue mini. And this was in Dark Fate #1. Now, the one thing that kind of prevents me from really getting excited about this is we have, after we get the title, we get the character's name, Xantha, I believe. And now the next most important thing is the orientation. Yeah, the orientation, and then yeah, I feel as though that there needs to be more. And again, this is not the solicit. This is the marketing though that is on Adventures of Poor Taste, which was, this is the exciting thing. That and this is the besides the name and besides the comic title, this is the next most exciting thing that we need to know about this person. I'm not really excited for this, and I think I'll probably just sit this one out. The Vigil, which is done by Ram V, which I have enjoyed the Swamp Thing, but I really needed a lot of help to kind of fully grasp and understand it. The Detective Comics I'm about ready to drop just because it is more poetic and it seems to be really drawn out, and I'm just not enjoying it as much. Also, you have the $1 markup for the backup story that I don't want and should be free, especially if we're trying to help some of these people, improve their writing or, get into the comic industry for either artists or writers. So I feel as though if you're going to charge me $1 for a backup and I don't like it, it shouldn't be just a waste of paper. The City Boy one is possibly the one that I might give it the most look at, because this is a DC Wildstorm thing. I did pick up the Wildstorm 30th anniversary. I have not read it because I just don't have time. But I do think that, and with Greg Pak writing it, who I've heard from a couple people, they think that I've heard that his Action Comics during the New 52 is probably one of the better ones. So for that reason, possibly I will proceed maybe with that one, but proceed with caution. So out of those three that are spinning off of Lazarus Planet, those ones are the ones that I'd be looking for. For the next one, for the Dawn of the DC, again, I was super excited. I am super excited, not was, am for the Flash. I'm excited for the Green Lantern. I read the quick story for the Power, the Black History Month for Cyborg. I was hoping that would be more of a setup to that. We do get an origin story for the Booyah. The Titans, I see that, issue #1 is $4.99. Is there going to be another backup? Again, I think that I'm getting kind of fed up with some of the backups. We have the Flash, which is now going to be relaunched, which is one of the new news that is coming out. We have Wonder Woman, which is a relaunch, which I believe both of these should be exciting. I mean, I have some positive optimism before then. So as we go through this, this is we're going to get a tease at the end of Flash 100 for what's going to happen for issue #1. Same thing with Wonder Woman. We are going to get a tease for what's going to go on after issue #800, a prelude story there. And then, of course, we have Steelworks, which I didn't see if it's an ongoing. It didn't say it's a mini. And the only thing I could say about this is that this is written by Michael Dorn, who played Worf in Star Trek The Next Generation and also voiced Steel in some of the animated stuff. We have Hawk Girl, which I'm not sure, maybe Hawkman. And the only reason why I say that is because so many people have really loved the Hawkman series. I only liked it when it got to the infected part of the storyline. You have, and I guess, the Free Comic Book Day, the Dawn of the DC premiere, is going to possibly, I think could make or break the excitement, the anticipation, or, what let the air out of the tire, for lack of a better term or word. Again, for the Flash, we have Simon Spurrier, who I believe did a couple of the, not Vertigo, but the Constantine stories. And he's done a couple things for Marvel. And again, I do have, and I think I'm going to look at the first 5 issues of the Legion of X because I did pick those ones up, and I do know that he wrote those. We also have like love him or hate him, or hate him or hate him. We do have Tom King who is taking over for Wonder Woman. Now, here's the interesting thing. We had a lot of people who were very upset because Mariko Tamaki was going to be writing Green Lantern, and this was going to be the worst thing since the last worst thing that happened. However, then we get the good news that Jeremy Adams is taking over, and then we're also going to have not Daniel Warren Johnson, but the other guy that is currently writing the Action Comics for Superman. He is also going to be the other Green Lantern writer. I think that there's some excitement about both of those people doing that. Then we have, there's been massive complaints about the Becky Conrad or Cloorad or whatever it is. And I pieced out of it early on after the death, came back for the Trial of the Amazon. It was so bad that I could not muster a strength to do a complete review of Trial of the Amazon because it was just boring and it went nowhere slow. Then, again, I think that there's some optimism. The only thing that I'm backing Flash. I'm gonna get King and Wonder Woman because again, what is the alternative? It's Becky Conrad or Cloonrad or whatever it's called, and I've not been liking them one bit at all. I'm surprised that Batgirls is still going on with both of them at the helm. And, love him or hate him again, Tom King, a lot of people, I think there's a lot of revisionist history regarding Tom King. And this is just me as a novice looking from the outside, looking on the inside. It's because a lot of people really liked his Rebirth. And then now we have this, well, then after the second arc, now because we don't like him, now because of this, it was actually weak the entire time. We just didn't realize it until, either the City of Bane storyline, which again, read none of those. I'm really intrigued by so many things that are going on with DC. I think that there's some really healthy optimism. And again, healthy skepticism is a good thing too. But you know what? If you're already going into this saying that it is the worst thing since the last worst thing, of course it's going to be bad. And you know what? I applaud anybody who is grifting on the idea of, just torching all of these because you know what? A good grift is a good grift. However, I do think that I don't really like some of those YouTube channels after a while because I think that it's just there's nothing. It's get off my lawn. And then, you listen to some other people and say, well, the 90s were never that good to begin with. But then these people are saying the 90s are better. But when it comes down to reviewing, why aren't they reviewing classic stuff if it's so much better? Is because it is so much more, I guess, profitable to hate things and dump on things. So is it true? Is it bad? I don't know. Again, healthy skepticism. I don't know. Like, subscribe, whatever. Comment down below. Email me, comicnovice@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Am I being too optimistic? Am I not being pessimistic enough? Share your thoughts. Thank you again. And until next time, I will see you in the dollar bins. And maybe fair B, because, your public persona is as good as it is. And if it's not good, it's bad. That went nowhere fast.